7 on adding and subtracting polynomials. I'm going to first start you off on just adding. So let's just focus on the adding of the polynomials right now before we get into subtracting. Subtracting sometimes has a little bit of some rules you need to apply. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, if you remember back in earlier algebra, we always combine things that are the same, combining your like terms. So if I give you a problem like this, 12p to the third power plus 11p to the second power plus 8p to the third power. I want you just to focus in on the exponents. Don't worry about the numbers right now. They all have p, so that's good. Those are all the same. Now, which exponents are identical? We have a 3 here and we have a 3 here, which means we can pair these two numbers up, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. We can do 12p to the third plus 8p to the third. And all we're going to really do here is add the values. So 12 plus 8 is going to give us 20. And we drop down p to the third. There you go. Now, can we do anything with this 11p to the second? No, because this exponent is not the same. So that just means we drop him down and we're done. You always want to make sure that your exponents are going in descending order. You don't want to put the square before the cube, or like say to the 10th power before the 20th power. You always want to go in descending order. Okay, so let's try another one. We have 5x squared minus 6 minus 3x plus 8. All right, let's combine the ones that are the same. Okay, well, I don't have another x squared, which means this guy automatically just falls down. And he's the largest value up here, so he goes first. Do I have another number without a variable or an exponent? Yes, I do. So I can combine these two. Negative 6 plus 8. Negative 6 plus 8 is going to give me 2. All right. Before I put the 2, can I do anything with this negative 3x here? No, and you do need to include the sign before it. So since he doesn't have a like term, he's also going to drop down. And in going in descending order, now I can do that add 2. Why did I put add 2? Because this was a positive 2. We had more positives than we had negatives, so that's why. All right, we have t squared plus 2s squared minus 4t squared minus s squared. Let's combine those like terms. Do I have another t squared? I do. Right there. I have lots of squares, but I need to pair up a t squared. Well, this is basically a 1. So we get 1t squared. And what kind of 4 is this? It's a negative. We take the value in front. Minus 4t squared. Okay? That's going to give me negative 3t squared. So negative 3t squared is how I'm going to start this off. All right, let's combine some other like terms. Do I have another s squared? I do, right there. So I'm going to combine these two. I have positive 2s squared minus, remember that's like a 1, s squared. Okay, 2 take away 1 is going to give me 1s squared. Or I could just drop that 1 and put plus s squared. And that's as far as you can go with that problem. Okay, look at this one. We have 10m squared n plus 4m squared n minus 8m squared n. Well, they're all like terms. They all have m squared n. And since they all have that, we can combine all of these. So we just go from left to right. Don't jump around. Remember, PEMDAS, it's always left to right. So what's 10 plus 4? Well, that gives me 14. Then we have 14 take away 8. 14 take away 8 is going to give me 6. M squared N. And there, you have a single answer. That one is as far as you can go. All right. Let's do one more adding. So we have 4z to the 4th minus 8 plus 16z to the 4th plus 2. Okay, let's combine those like terms. Do I have another z to the 4th? I do. It's right there. So 4 plus 16 is going to give me 20 z to the 4th. Okay? Do I have another single digit? I do have another single digit. It's right over there. Okay, remember you take the sign with the number. So it's negative 8 plus 2, which is going to give me negative 6. And that's my final answer for that one. All right, now let's get into subtracting. Subtracting is a little different. You might want to, remember that whenever you're multiplying. Okay. All right, what if you have adding polynomials that come in groups like this? So you have 4m squared plus 5 in one group, one set of parentheses, and we're going to add that to another set of parentheses, which is m squared m plus 6. All right, well, the one thing I've always done here is you can combine your like terms from one group to the next. You can steal them over, or you can line this up. If you like lining them up better, that always works as well. Okay, it's up to you. If you wanted to line them up, it would look like this. I'll show you both ways. So I have 4m squared, and then I would have a 5. Let's just put 5 down here. Well, I have another m squared, which would be 1m squared, and then I'd have an m, and then I'd have a 6. Okay, and all of these get added together. So these come down to little plus signs here. So 4 plus 1 would give me 5m squared. Okay, there's nothing here, so it's just going to be good old m. Okay, but this was actually a subtract m. If you notice here, it was a negative m. So that's a good way to always double check that you have the correct symbol in front. Let me go ahead and fix that. Minus m. Okay, now let's go ahead and add these up. What's 5 plus 6? It's 11. And there's your final answer. Okay, let me show you the other method, the stealing method, which means you just kind of group the ones that are the same together. Again, same concept. I have a m squared here. I have an m squared here. 4 plus 1m squared is going to give me 5m squared. 5 and 6 is going to give me an 11. And this is the only negative m. And you add it all together, again remembering to put it in descending order. All right, I like lining them up. I think you can see it better. So I'm going to stick with that method. Let me write it how they give it to you first. So we have 10xy, xy plus y. Okay, and that's not supposed to be a bracket. It's supposed to be a parenthesis. All right, let's go ahead and line this up. So I'm going to put 10xy plus x. All right, and then over here, I have minus 3xy, no x, but I have a plus y. All right, let's combine this. What's 10 take away 3? It's going to be 7xy. Do I have another x? No. What kind is it? It's positive. And do I have another y? Nope, and it's positive. And there's my final answer. There you go. Before you can line these up, you need to do what's in the parentheses first. Combine the ones that are in the parentheses first. There's nothing I can combine in the first group, but if you notice in the second group, I can. I have 3 take away 8, which is going to give me negative 5x squared. All right, and then I have plus 3y minus 2y, which is going to give me plus y. All right, now let's go ahead and combine by stacking these up. So I have 6x squared minus 4y on top of minus 5x squared plus y, which again is a 1y. And let's go ahead and add these up. So we have 6 take away 5 is going to be 1, so this becomes x squared. And then we have negative 4 plus 1, which is going to be negative 3y. And that's your final answer. All right, let's look at subtraction. So in this sense, we have x to the third plus 4y minus 2x to the third. And this is in parentheses, like this. All right. What does this mean? This means that this negative here makes this whole thing negative, okay? Which is obvious because there's only one thing in those parentheses anyways. So let's go ahead and stack this up. So we'd have x to the third plus 4y minus 2x to the third. There you go. Let's go ahead and solve this. So I'd have, which is basically 1. 1 take away 2 is going to be negative 1. So I'm just going to put negative x to the third. And this guy doesn't have anything, so just plus 4y. Let's try another. We have 7m to the fourth minus 2m squared minus 5m to the fourth minus 5m squared plus 8. Now, before we can stack these up, we need to make this negative change all these signs. When there's a negative on the outside of the parentheses, every sign on the inside gets changed. So this was a positive 5, now it's negative 5. This was a negative 5, now it's a positive 5. This was a positive 8, now it's a negative 8. Now we can stack. We don't have to worry about the signs. So let's go ahead and do this one. 7m to the fourth minus 2m squared. All right, now let's do the next one. We have minus 5m to the fourth plus 5m squared minus 8. All right, let's go ahead and solve this out. 7 take away 5 is 2m to the fourth. Negative 2 plus 5 is going to be plus 3m squared. And then we bring down the negative 8. And that's it, okay? Positive 2x minus 3x squared plus 1 minus x squared plus x plus 1. Okay, this is kind of like when we did the adding. You have to do what's in the parentheses first before you can stack them. So I do have some common terms here. So negative 2 minus 3 is going to give me a negative x squared plus 1 now. Over here, I have nothing to combine, but I do need to distribute that negative, which means this is now a negative. This is now a negative. This is now a negative. All right, so let's go ahead and stack. So I have negative x squared plus 1, giving there some space there. Negative x squared, right there. Now minus x, and now minus 1. All right, this is like negative 1 and negative 1, same sign, so we add and we get negative 2x squared. He doesn't have anybody, so just bring him down. And a plus 1 minus 1 cancels out to a 0. So that's my final answer. Okay, I hope this helps.